Okay, I'm doing a few jobs on the 900 Super Sport on the 96. My brother came down and visited me in Tassie nearly a year ago now. God, I'm shaking. The reason for all of this and the hat and everything else will become apparent soon. Yeah, my brother came down to Tassie about a year ago to visit me. God, that shakes bad. And I tossed him the keys to the multi-strata and I jumped on the 900 and we spent a week just riding, just doing day trips out and around Hobart and through some of the better roads in the south while he was here. Mostly just to refamiliarise himself with being back on a motorbike after quite a while. And ahead of him going on a trip with a couple of his mates over to Japan where they hired Harleys and rode around Japan. That was a bloody epic journey. And needless to say, he didn't need a lot of coaxing back into the saddle. He's a bit of a natural and he can steer a bike, so there was no issues there. But there were a couple of issues with the 900, so I'm working through them as we speak. One of the things that I noticed was that the warning lamps, the idiot lights as we call them in Australia, there was a couple not working. The most notable one for me was the low fuel warning lamp wasn't working. If we give this enough time, it will come on. It takes a little bit of time for it to build up the resistance to come on, but it will come on. The other one that wasn't working is there it is, that's the low fuel warning light. The other one that wasn't working was the side stand warning light, so that's that guy there. The other two that are not illuminated at the moment are the high beam and of course the turn signals, which is rapid flashing because I have the fronts disconnected. So that's all sorted. And the problem behind that was if you pop all this front cover off and get up underneath into the dash, you're not going to be able to see terribly well here. I can't see either. I'm wearing sunglasses. There's a square little rectangular plate over the base of this warning light assembly with two screws and a plug. You pull out the plug, pull out the screws, yank the thing out, and it's the whole mechanism with all the globes in there. And I was hoping it was just something like a blown globe. But what I found was two of the wires, a blue wire, which is the fuel tank level sensor wire, and a pink wire, which is the other one, had vibrated loose and come out of their solder. So I just resoldered them. That's solder, America. S-O-L-D-E-R, not solder. The next job was to fit new belts because these are 5 years old now, believe it or not. Been 5 years since I did the engine rebuild on this. So yeah, they need changing. So I needed to obviously put it up on the healing bench to do that job, which I've not yet done. And in the process of doing that, I couldn't get the thing to start. So what the problem was is the fuel pump in the tank. So Ducati in their wisdom, God, the shakes are bad, guys, sorry. Ducati in their wisdom put an electric fuel pump in these tanks rather than gravity feed them to supply petrol to the carburetors, and this one has shat the bed. It has shat the bed royally, will not run at all. And I am replacing it, but it's been lost in transit. So It was ordered out of Italy. It landed in Bunbury at Wayne Patterson's Motorcycle Centre. And they promptly popped it in the post for me, and it never got here. And they've now had to order another one because Australia Post have managed to lose it. Now, back to I thought I had conquered the low fuel warning lamp issue because that wire, but alas, that wasn't the case. This thing also had crapped the bed, the thermistor. So I had to buy a new one, level sensor. It's a slightly different, it's on a float, this one. It's either full or it's empty, but it's still on a float. So yeah, that's been replaced now, and obviously that's all working. Yeah, so that's where I'm up to with the 900 Super Sport. Just a few little tidy up jobs. Other than that, it's going like a top. Like I said, I rode it solid for a week when my brother was here, and it was just really good fun. Really good fun. But the registration expires on this thing in January, and it is now of an age, of 30 years of age, where it is now eligible for special interest registration in Tasmania, which means that I can convert this over to a logbook controlled limited ride registration. So I don't ride this bike very often. The special interest registration will allow me 108 trips a year, which is two trips a week. And a trip is unlimited kilometres, but it's within a 24-hour period, and you have to keep a logbook. I've got no dramas doing that. That'll be fine. That'll reduce my registration fees from about $760 a year down to about $160 a year. So it's well worth me doing that. Yeah, so I've got to get it all prepped and ready to have it inspected ahead of its transfer to restricted registration. Now to matters more at hand. What I think I'll do is I'm going to ping off to a video that I recorded 3 or 4 weeks ago, and at my daughter's house in Queensland. I'm going to let you watch that, and then I'll come back and wrap it up. G'day everybody, welcome back. It's been a while, I know that. Sorry. Thought I'd better respond. There's been a number of people reaching out, asking, hey, how you going? Miss seeing you on YouTube. Hopes all's well, etc., etc. So, yes, I have had quite the leave of absence, mostly because it all got too hard. It was too much of an effort to set up cameras and forever dealing with bloody batteries and having the hours that you put into editing, and anyone who does that type of content will understand just how much work is involved in all that. So I sort of lost interest, to be honest. And being able to find decent content, etc., is always a challenge as well. And this broadcast is coming to you from my daughter's house in Queensland. I've flown up from Queensland just to be with family for a little while, because my life has sort of taken a bit of a turn. I've been recently diagnosed with bowel cancer. Now, I've just come through the surgery. I'm 3 weeks post-surgery. I'm fine. I'm looking to get back to work in the next couple of weeks. I'm still not allowed to lift anything, bend, stretch, all that sort of stuff, because it's quite an invasive procedure. I had a large mass in my lower bowel, about 23 centimetres, 230 millimetres by 170 millimetres, so 10 inches by 6.5 inches-ish, a bit more. And I think that might have been festering for a few years, 2 or 3, to be honest. I didn't recognise any symptoms. Retrospectively, I can now recognise symptoms. So now I'm waiting to start chemotherapy. I am staring down the barrel of fortnightly, so every 2-week chemo sessions for 6 months. That's sort of looks like what I'm going to be up for. I have an oncology clinic in a week or so, where that'll be confirmed. So I guess the message I want to get out here is, in Australia, the Australian government, when you turn 45, they send you a bowel cancer screening kit every 2 years. And I'm one of them guys that, I'm not doing that. I don't need to worry. I'm all right. Nothing wrong with me. And my wife, on the other hand, is one who always does this. And she had results back from her bowel cancer screen, and the Australian government actually sends you a letter saying that all is clear. Thank you for participating. And she waved this under my nose and said, "Look, Andy, it's really simple. Or it's not anything horrible. It's easy to do, and it gives you peace of mind. Please, you've turned 60 now. Do it for me." So I did. I gave in, and I said, "All right, okay, I'll go and do it." And this is the result. So, like I said, I think this has been festering for a few years. So I'm lucky that it didn't escape. It was still encapsulated within the bowel. There's a few lymph nodes that lit up, and that's the reason why I'm going to end up on a chemotherapy journey. However, it didn't get into my liver and lungs, which is where it's likely to track if it does escape. And then it's game over, boys. So my message, the message I want to get out to you lot, is particularly if you live in Australia and you are receiving these bowel cancer screening kits, do the test. And if you live outside of Australia, try and get hold of some type of screening test. I don't know what other countries offer. But the key with any of these types of cancers, whether it be prostate cancer or bowel cancer or any other cancer, get it early and things will be, you've got a much better chance of getting through this thing and surviving it. The fortunate thing for me is that bowel cancer is very common. There's a lot of it around the world, so they have a lot of data. They know what to do with it. They know how to handle it. It's only when it escapes into organs that are very difficult to treat that it becomes an issue. So please, guys, go and get tested. Do the screening tests that are available to you, and let's all live long and prosperous. Yep, so obviously I have been through the surgery. I'd gone through the surgery when I made that video. I've come out of the surgery very well. I'm quite happy with the progress. Doctors, the surgeons are all very happy with the progress. And then it was just a healing thing to get me well enough to make me sick again, because the chemotherapy journey has begun. That's why I'm sunglasses and wide brim hat, trying to stay out of the sun. There's all of these conditions that you have to comply with. I've had day one, session one. So I'm due for my second session in a couple of weeks. I still have my hair. The side effects have not been too horrendous. I had terrible neuropathy in my fingers the day after the first session. That's dissipated quite a bit now, although I'm very cold sensitive, so anything with good specific heat capacity like steel, it'll make my fingers go like, have you ever had a blood nail? It's like having 10 of those. You can't touch anything. It's actually debilitating. Your fingertips feel like they're on fire. So hopefully that doesn't become a sustained thing, or even worse, permanent, which is possible. So I just got to monitor that and let them know, and they'll adjust my chemo program to accommodate that. So that's where Andy's at, and that's, I covered off a lot of why I'm really not doing this very much in that video. Here's my old girl, old bat dog, 12 years old now, blind as a bat, cataracts in her eyes, something fierce, haven't you, mate? Cannot see. But loyal, loving, my best mate. Hey, buddy. Yeah, so I might as well wrap this up here. Forgive the shaky cam. I'm a little unsteady on my feet and a little bit weak, I guess, is for want of a better word. I'm back at work. I got so much work, it's not funny. And I'm very, very busy, and I'm actually quite grateful for that because it's distracting me. As long as I stay safe and I don't injure myself, that's the main thing. So yeah, thanks for all the concern. Thanks for everyone who's sent messages or commented on videos or whatever. Hey, where are you? We miss you. We wish you were back. Hopefully I've covered off a lot of the reasons why I'm not there. And also, I've had to upload all this. I've lost all of my editing software. Well, lost it. I failed to renew the subscription for it, so it's gone. So I've just had to edit this in iMovie on my iPad. I haven't done it yet, obviously. I'm filming now, but hopefully the post-production's not too horrible. Thanks, fellas. Bye for now.